Welcome. We are at our 116th rental property. We are going to use this live case study as an example of how to use the BRRRR Method or BRRRR Strategy, which is a way to not have to put 20% down on every single rental property. This is a way to properly leverage debt. This strategy can change your life. So stay tuned for a real life example. Luke's going to crush it. So we are going to run you guys a real life case study of the BRRRR Method or BRRRR Strategy. They mean the same thing, method and strategy, so we'll use those words interchangeably. What that stands for is buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat. Did I do that right?
Got it.
I did it right. All right. So this is a crazy way that you can grow wealth using other people's money. We have probably close to $4 million in equity using somebody else's money. So that's properly leveraging debt.
Yeah, so we use our sweat equity. We rehab this house to create equity, and that is our net worth for the most part. So this particular house, we're at the B stage of the BRRRR strategy. So we just bought it, just walked it, needed a little more work than we initially thought, but we think we're gonna be able to rehab it and refinance out and recapture all of our money.
Why did it need more work, Lucas? Why didn't we know that it needed more work?
Well, this particular house, we did not see it before we purchased it. And we've never done that before, have we?
Just a couple of times. We did see pictures and we bought it from a wholesaler that we know and trust. So let's give you some initial numbers on this, and then we'll do a quick walk through the house and show you the condition. So then the next R, which stands for rehab, we'll talk about how we're going to rehab and what we're going to do. So we bought this house from a wholesaler for $72,000. That is key when utilizing the BRRRR strategy or BRRRR method. You have to buy houses at a discount, and that's usually the case because in order to buy a house at a discount, it's going to need work. You're going to need to fix it up and add value. Just a normal house on the market that's rent ready or livable, you can't buy that at a discount, especially in today's market. So you need to find houses at a discount so you can add value, so then you can in return use that value add to refinance and get all your money back.
Yeah, we knew this house was at a discount because houses in this subdivision are selling for about $130,000. So we use that $130,000 as our after repair value, our ARV. And we take that and we multiply it by a discount percentage, whether you're using 75% or 80% or somewhere in between, and then subtract our rehab cost, which is about 26 to 30 on this property. And that's why we're able to buy it for $72,000.
Yeah, so just to use just simple numbers on Luke's example is we take ARV, which stands for after repair value, what the house is worth, fixed up, multiply it by a discount percentage somewhere between 70 and 80%, which gives you your profit and or value equity at the end, minus the repairs. So in this example, it's $130,000, which we think this house is worth fixed up, times 0.75 minus 25 to 30,000, and that's where our purchase price is going to be around where we bought it.
Yeah, and going the other way, so we bought it for 72, going to put in $25,000, and it's going to be worth $130,000 at the end. And that's 72 plus 25, what does that equal? 97. So 130 minus 97, that's our equity. So we gained about $33,000 worth of equity on this particular house with $0 of our own money. So with the BRRRR strategy, we bought the house at a discount, and the first R stands for rehab. So we got to rehab this house. Oh my goodness, there you were.
Let's go.
So we got to rehab this house. And a big part of our rehab is fixing up kitchens and baths. But this particular kitchen has this goofy little wall, but I think it's solid brick is the bad news.
It is definitely solid brick, so it's got to come down.
Yeah, I really think if we took this down and opened it up to the living area, it'd be a great spot for us. So do you think we should take that down, Sam?
Yeah, I think so. I think in this kitchen, it's going to basically be a brand new kitchen. Adding a new kitchen is a great way to get a good tenant, to get a good appraisal, because as we'll talk about later in this video, you need to get a good appraisal in order to get your money back. So we're going to rehab this kitchen, replace the whole thing. As you can see, as you're walking through the bathrooms, pretty much both the bathrooms are going to be complete gut. This hallway bathroom in here is going to need pretty much everything new. It's going to have to tear down everything around the tub, new vanity, new toilet. It's going to be a pretty much new bathroom. And then the small half bath in the master is going to be just a quick turn, just spruce everything up.
So a lot of times we like to keep our kitchen cabinets if they're good enough shape, but this house, they just don't close right and they're a little dirty and it's just not worth it. This kitchen is probably only $3,000 worth of cabinets, maybe $2,000.
Probably.
And we can install them in a half a day and it'll be worth it in the long run to get a brand new kitchen in here and not have to worry about it for a long, long time.
Yep, for sure. And as you can see, the floors, they're good, nice wood floors. They're in great shape. They just need to be redone. So we're going to redo the floor. So we're going to have a nice new, sanded, and finished floor. What color do we like to use on our floors, Lucas?
So for our rental houses, we don't put a color on it. We do natural color, so we don't have any stain. And that's so we can touch up the sanding of the floors as we turn the houses between tenants, and we don't have to worry about finding stain to match. We just sand it back down and polyurethane to make it nice protective coat so the tenants can't destroy it. So we bought this house 3 days ago, and the day we bought it, it was packed full of junk. So the first thing we have to do is clean out the house to figure out what we actually need to do as far as rehab goes. So we cleaned it out, but for some reason, our clean out guys left this 1997 boombox. I remember playing this boombox in my room when I was in like 3rd grade.
See my rhythm?
So
is this good?
It's great rhythm.
Okay.
So anybody who wants a free boombox, please pick it up at 21 Queen Anne Drive.
Perfect. All right, check out up here. As you can see, at some point the roof was leaking. There's a couple spots in the house that look like this. Luckily, the roof has been replaced. So we're gonna take you guys outside. That's why I got my sunglasses on, preparing, being proactive. We're gonna go outside.
Let the eyes adjust.
Let the eyes adjust. So we're gonna go outside. We're gonna show you the exterior of the house. Next time you see video inside this house, this whole thing is gonna be completely finished and redone, ready for a tenant. Let's go outside.
Hopefully we do a good job. So we're outside in front of our latest rental. As you can see, it's all brick, low maintenance. I love all brick houses. The tuck pointing in this is a little suspect, so we might work on the tuck pointing just a little bit, but overall, we're not gonna have to touch this exterior for a long time. Also, in the front yard, what do you not see, Sam?
I do not see any big trees.
And that's another way to keep your properties low maintenance. If you got big trees in the front yard, all those roots are gonna get into your sewer lateral, gonna push your foundation in. So we like to buy houses with not many big trees in the yard.
The key to making the BRRRR strategy and BRRRR method work for you guys is rehabbing the property properly and not having any big maintenance items. Taking care of your big maintenance items in the rehab so you don't have monthly expenses every month to take out of the maintenance.
For sure. We like to have our landscaping as simple as possible. So honestly, all these bushes we're probably going to take down. Otherwise, every spring or every fall, we're going to have to come and trim these up because a lot of times your tenant's not going to take care of that for you.
Ready?
And we're back. Sam, there's no wall there anymore.
Oh, crap. They can see me this time. Sorry. All right, guys. Welcome back to our rental property that we have just finished rehabbing. It's rented. We know all the numbers, so we're going to go over the rest of the BRRRR method, the BRRRR strategy with you. But first, let's kind of talk about our rehab, the rehab of the BRRRR strategy. So what do we do in the kitchen here, Lucas?
Yeah, first of all, I think this house turned out great.
Yep.
The kitchen looks awesome. So we went with these brand new slate gray cabinets. We've been doing the gray cabinets a lot recently. Granite countertops. A lot of people don't like to put granite in rentals, but we just like to make our rentals a little nicer. So we went to granite, and this rental is about $1,300 a month. So in our market in this area, that's pretty much on the high end. So we want to make sure we have nice fixtures. So granite countertops, newer black appliances, new sink, new faucet, stainless steel on this, stainless steel washer and dryer, and this is pretty cool. It's our new marketing material. Have you seen that?
Yep, so we put marketing material in all our rentals so people know we're a professional, legitimate company. They have a flyer they can take with them with things on the property. So we want this to be professional. We want people to know we're a professional company. We're gonna treat them with respect. We're gonna treat them fairly, and we're giving them a nice place to live. As you can see, this is a nice kitchen.
Yeah, and the marketing material has really helped kind of us avoid scammers recently, because there's companies out there that'll send people through, and those tenants don't know they're being scammed until they see the marketing material at the house. So that's the company that's marketing it. We're marketing it, not the scammer.
All right, so let's get caught up to where we are at this moment. We've already talked about the buy, how we bought this, and we already talked about the rehab. Now that the rehab's done, we got the property rented, so we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about the refinance, what we did there, and then we're gonna talk about the repeat. So we're gonna finalize the BRRRR process or BRRRR strategy. So Lucas, talk a little bit about this thing getting rented, because we have it rented now.
Yeah, so we marketed it, I think, last Friday, and today's Wednesday. So we had 20 applicants over the weekend for this house, and the feedback was amazing. So we got about probably 3 approved applicants that we love, and we got to choose one here. So we're going to get it rented about $1,300 a month, and that's before they reimburse us for sewer and pet rent. So $1,300 a month is what we're getting for this house.
Yeah, and that should cash flow us over $200 a door, which is what we shoot for every property we have. Yeah. And then something to note there, when you do have 3 approved applicants, you need to do things the right way. You need to accept them in the order that they came in, that they're finalized. So there's a bunch of different rules that go into the Fair Federal Housing Act that we're not going to get into right now, but you do need to understand, at the very simplest form, you need to treat treat all tenants the same and treat all tenants fairly, whether they're current tenants or future tenants. So we got the property appraised, which I answer the question all the time is, when can you refinance, get the property appraised and refinance? For most of you, if it's your first time doing a BRRRR strategy or BRRRR method deal, the bank's gonna want probably 1 to 4 months of seasoning period with the tenant in place, but you can work on relationships with banks like we have, and we refinance and get our money back out of that short-term loans even before tenant moves in, which is the case now. Lucas, go over our refinance numbers.
Yeah, so we bought this house for $72,000. We put about $30,000 into the rehab. So we're into this property for $102,000. We got it appraised for $133,000 last week. So we're gonna take a loan, 80% of that, and be able to recapture all of our purchase and rehab costs on this property.
Plus interest for a private money lender.
Exactly.
Yep, so that's how the BRRRR method should work. It doesn't work like that every time, but in general, we use somebody else's money to buy the property, we use somebody else's money to fix it up, we got it rented, and then we took to a local bank and refinanced it and got 80% of the appraised value, recaptured all of our money plus some extra to pay back the private lender short-term loan.
Yep, so we'll have a note on this property for about $105,000, $106,000. And with that $1,300 a month rent coming in every month, we should cash flow about $200 a month.
And that's kind of our goal. This is a prototypical, kind of perfect example of how we like to do our rentals. This is a little higher end as far as the amount of rehab we put into it. We usually like to be between 20 and 30, but we were right at 30, so we weren't too far off.
Yep. All right, so now that we got the property refinanced, we get to the... Sam finally gets to jump over a wall. We knocked down the kitchen wall, but come on.
Oh, made it.
There
it hurt my stomach.
Good work. So now we get to the fun part. We got all our money back. We got our private lender's money back. So we get to go do this again. We get to find another property, fix it up, get it rented and refinanced again. It's a beautiful thing.
This is the scalability that I love with the BRRRR method, the BRRRR strategy. I talk about this all the time in some of our other platforms, but we do pretty well for ourselves, but we don't make enough money to put 20% down on 3 to 5 rentals a month like we're doing right now. That'd be $200,000 to $300,000. You'd have to put down on each property if you're going to do 20% on each property. So,
yeah.
All right. So that's $200,000 to $300,000 that you'd have to have total to put 20% down on 3 to 5 rentals in our area. And we don't make an extra $200,000 to $300,000 a month to build rentals. So that's why the BRRRR strategy, the BRRRR method is so powerful. I'm a little out of breath from jumping over that wall, but that's why it's so powerful, because you can scale so quickly, and small local banks understand the BRRRR method, they understand the BRRRR strategy, so your debt to income ratio and all that stuff doesn't come into effect as much because it's an income producing property. It's not your residential mortgage where you're just paying every month. It's not giving you any money.
Yeah, we'd like to create our equity, not by cash, but by finding properties at a discount and then creating equity by rehabbing the property. That's where our equity comes from. So last time you guys were here, did you notice that the ceiling's put back together?
Oh, I didn't think we were, I thought that was off the scope work. I thought we were gonna leave that.
Well, since we came in a little under budget, we decided to do it.
Great.
If you guys like videos like this, please comment below and tell us about a recent BRRRR deal that you guys did. We are closing on 2 new rentals this week, so we're gonna create a lot of other videos just like this one.